Yep.
sometimes that's just how it goes.
Yeah. Even under that lag that he was feeling, he was like, yo, used all three of his pauses, like, oh God. Like, and, he, I could even tell, like, some of the force fields were a little bit like, like a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
slower than SWS traditional ones, but he was able to overcome, made it through, and took out Baldwin 2-0, I believe, with
But we do have an update. Um, Guitar Cheese had to go to work.
oh, so he did
Um,
have to go to work.
he did have to go to work by the time, I guess, since he's a stripper, in case anybody's
I
wondering
was
what
gonna
his
say, like, what
profession
the
is.
hours, man, the hours.
No, we
Or
don't know what.
security guard, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think guitar. I mean, not to knock on him, brother, but damn, I don't think Guitar Cheese is a security guy, but he could definitely be a stripper, man, for
he
sure.
could. So he had to go. But so there's a little bit of change in how things are done. Kelazhur is moved on to the finals to play SWS, which I think is just kind of saying SWS takes first.
Yeah.
Not to knock Calazar there, but I'm pretty sure he was a Proto or a Zerg player as well, unless I'm thinking of a different. Maybe he was our one Terran. Maybe that's what it was. But
I don't know what he was.
let me double check. I think he was our Terran player actually. I lied. Oh, he was the one that was doing the proxy gate and stuff. Oh, TVP. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. This should be good. This should be good.
All right. All right.
So sadly, Baldwin falls out and will be hanging out there with Guitar Cheese at third and fourth place spot. And it looks like there will be a slight update in the prize distribution, though.
Okay.
Instead of $70 for first place, it's going to be $40 for first place, $30 for second, and $15 for the semifinalist. So
Okay.
just slight variation, but that it's a more even distribution amongst all the players.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Good stuff
So
there.
what we're going into here is that which match it's gonna be?
We should be just jumping into the finals. I think Master Dolk is just getting the confirmation from all the players to see if they're okay with the change in the prize distribution. Because originally it was set up for $70, $20, and $5. So just want to make sure. SWS says, I like the 70-20 just because he's kind of feeling like he's going to be able to make $70.
Yeah.
Instead of, that basically cuts his prize pretty much in half almost.
Yeah.
So I understand why
Yeah.
he'd be vocal about it, and he's like, no, I like being able to get $70, and I think those players that are, especially the semifinalists, are like, yeah, I'm okay with getting 15 now, but
I know. Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, it's like just because like the way that it's working right now, I'm a little like what Guitar Cheese isn't able to, of course. So, that would technically make like him the what I guess SWS is, I guess.
mm-hmm. Well, it looks like they're still trying to get the 100% confirmation on how they want to break down the prize pool. They're thinking maybe $50 for first place now, which I think it could be a bit pretty solid. It's still close to a good distribution, like the semifinals would still get about $10 there, but we'll see. We'll see once they decide on things. But before we jump into the finals and everything, which will be coming up very soon, guys, I did want to give a big shout out to all of you guys watching at home. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. And this is, of course, the first Zowie and a Rumble sponsored by Excelio, as well as Zowie gear there. So make sure you tweet at them how awesome they are. Check out all the great gear that they've got, as well as the tournament hosting on Excelio. So
Yep.
Good stuff all around. We will be having a TVP coming up for the finals very shortly here between SWS and Kelazhur. So just bear with us as things get set up. The ladder or the map pool is getting decided with they're doing the vetoes and all that, and it looks like Overgrowth is going to be the starting map, of course, since we've already known our starting maps going into things. But Tempo, any predictions, SWS and Kelazhur?
Yeah, I'm a little bit interested too because I was getting ready for a PVZ. Like, oh god, is it? I mean, it's gonna be SWS the Zerg Slayer, but Kelazhur gonna be coming in as a Terran player. Haven't seen too many games from him. Representing the same clan that Snake Hips was, I believe. What is IVI?
Oh, it's actually supposed to be a giant M.
Giant M. Okay.
MicroGamerz is what Kelazhur is.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the way it's set up is supposed to be like a big bold
Okay.
M, but yeah. So MicroGamerz there. Actually, yeah. So he is in the same clan as Snake Ships or Snake Ships if you're me and can't read tonight, which seems to be the case all over the place.
Dude, it's all good, man. I ain't gonna judge you, man. As long as you can cast StarCraft, that's really all that matters.
Right? Cast StarCraft, play games. What else do I need to know? Who needs to know how to read?
Nope.
Click mice.
Speak you know what though? Speaking of, Reading Rainbow just got funded to you know, it got that Kickstarter fund. So if you can't read,
I did not. Yep. I did not see this.
Yep. So Reading Rainbow is gonna be they're doing this huge thing where the whole like series and all this stuff is gonna be available online and not just on tablet, but like all this crazy stuff where you can access everything. So hey, fear not, bro. You can you know, it's all good. It seems like it's all gonna work out.
Good.
There is hope.
So by next Zowie NA Rumble #2, I'll be able to read better.
Exactly.
Reading Rainbow.
Thank you, Reading Rainbow. Yeah. LeVar Burton.
Now, if only they could bring back Mr. Rogers, then I'd be all set.
Then you'd be good, right?
But Tempo, why don't you take it away with those player introductions?
All right. Well, spawning in the top right corner, we've been watching him dominate the Zerg, but now he's up against a new race. It is going to be representing DuSt.sWs.
All right.
Yep.
DuSt.05.
Oh,
now I'm getting lags. Oh, SWS is lagging. Kick.
Yeah.
So anyway, his opponent, if we could stop lagging. Wow, everyone's
crazy right now.
But his opponent spawning, BattleNet strikes again, spawning down here in the only other spawn location, the south of Overgrowth. It is our blue chair player representing MicroGamerz. He is Kelazhur.
All right. Well, I'm pretty interested because I've never seen Kelazhur play before. And it's going to be the first TVP that I've casted today. Unfortunately, I did come from my sister's graduation after this, and there were no TVPs played at the graduation. So this is going to actually be the first TVP that I've casted today. So pretty excited. Pretty excited to see it go down.
I love PBTs.
Yep.
I think Ravi and I are both in that agreement that we love PBTs as a matchup. Personally, I don't know what your thought is. I know you're a fan of the Zerg, but what are your thoughts on the TVP matchup, Tempo?
No, I like it a lot too. Oh, good. Goodness gracious.
All right.
Yeah, it's a little.
I'm about ready to like pause the screen. Like I'm print screen ready. Psh.
We definitely don't want to when the Reaper comes to, and because you know Kelazhur is opening up with the gas and the barracks, but the gas is gonna finish a little bit before the barracks, so I think that we may see a factory straight into it, you know, rather than going, oh, maybe he will go for the Reaper. I didn't actually see if he put down the nope, he's definitely going for Reaper or something, but yeah, that probe is getting denied. You know, it's like when you're going trick-or-treating and like there's a light on, so that's like fair game, and you knock on the door and you ring it, but you see the people watching TV in there, but they're just like not coming to their door, and it's like, dude, come on. That's like the 10th sacred commandment, you know, it's like the 10th one.
I know it's Halloween, and I know we have our light on, and there's a bowl of candy that you can see in the window, but you cannot have it.
That's exactly what happened right there with that probe. And SWS is gearing up, of course, to do something a little bit cheeky. Gonna go ahead and add another gas, and he's heading his probe at that third location. So if we see a next pylon go there, we just may see that proxy Stargate. But no, the next pylon is gonna be in the main. So doesn't mean that it's not gonna be that, but it does mean that because I mean, look, if you don't put that pylon in your main and this Reaper comes in, all of a sudden you see it, and you see that there's only 2 pylons, and you're like, okay, something fishy is going on.
Right.
But
yeah,
you know, he's going to boosting out his mothership core. Gonna want to deal with that Reaper ASAP, making a Stalker too, and not rushing out a Stargate. So I don't think he's gonna actually go for that. It's just a probe hiding there so it doesn't die.
And I know he had that probe ready to kind of go for that expansion, but with how things are looking, it's like, okay, no, I've got to be ready, be on the defensive here. Mothership Core is going to be helping out quite a lot. The Stalker's going to be out very soon too, and SWS had very good control though. Like, he's really not lost anything. He took some damage on his Zealot, but that's about it. But Kelazhur behind this, he's still got the Reapers being produced. He's getting an expansion, but I'm liking the play so far from both players.
Yeah, me too.
They've got
for
very
sure.
good control.
Very solid, just the double racks. I was confused a little bit about it. I want to see how Kelazhur is going to be going and how aggressive he will be. How many Reapers is he actually going to make? He's going to go down up to 3 Reapers, and we'll see if he makes another one. He's delaying his factory by making this many Reapers. Usually you will only see 1 to 2 to scout. Check to see the expansion timing, see if you can pick off a few probes, but yeah, just going cray. But Kelazhur's going to be getting up his expansion too. He put down a tech lab on his other barracks, and is getting a second gas now. So
trying to now, yes. It found that will stabilize enough for this game to finish up here. Like, it's really painful too, is like, as the players, you have to understand how frustrated they are when they're sitting here trying to click their buttons to try to make something happen, and nothing happens because they keep getting these lag spikes, and it is nothing that they're doing. Their internet is fine, it's just all on BattleNet's end. But with the situation they're in, they still have really good micro, and they're still really on top of their units and not losing anything really for free here. And SWS has a pylon over in the right-hand corner there with the probe, and actually, Kelazhur are able to get that, clean that up, no problem. Stalker's going to start to get warped in, though, and he's going to get sandwiched in. He's got to be careful.
How many units does Kelazhur have? He does have a bunker, but he only has 2 Marines here, and the SCVs may have to get pulled here because 3 Marines and 2 Reapers may not be enough. Stalkers are going to just walk on by. They don't care. But there are no SCVs for these Stalkers to kill. And he's just going to harass this. But more Marines are coming on the way. 4 Marines being produced at a time. And SWS may be caught here. But, with some decent micro. Yeah, he's going to have to retreat to that bunker. He's going to have to be really careful. Yeah, he's denying the mining here, which is very important. And
it's all allowing him to get his Nexus up that he wanted to. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, Kelazhur's, it's like, now when it's coming down to those key important things of the micro, and they're like, this is really hard. Like, and they're getting the lag screens popping up all the time here. They're trying to click stuff, and your units aren't responding the way you want, and like,
yeah. I don't know.
I mean, SWS was talking how he did the speed test and things were looking fine. I only got it saying SWS once, SWS says. Well.
And it's pretty quick, too.
And Kelazhur is going to double check. And but, this is also a thing, like, we got to cast up Kelazhur, and the lag screen never popped up before.
Yeah.
He was playing.
I just did something, something
is
a little goofy is going on.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're feeling comfortable enough that they're going to try to push it, probably very soon here. And there's 4 Marines getting produced at a time, but more Stalkers are getting produced here. I mean, there's 7 over on Kelazhur's side of the map. That it's the orbital command's being damaged here. The bunker's getting damaged, and it's basically like SWS is from all sides, and Kelazhur really does not want to lose any units for free, and he's going to push and say, nope, these 4 Stalkers are going down, and that's going to allow the 3 to start poking in now, and Kelazhur is kind of scrambling. He's having a really hard time dealing with this sort of pincer move out of SWS.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward because you feel like you have the, you can do it, and you try, and all of a sudden the Stalkers do survive and you lose Marines, but this may be the push that he did need. SCV's helping out. He's going to lose a few.
Ooh. Lose a sentry for free and lose the 4 Stalkers in the back there. So good hold from Kelazhur comes out. We hear the scan go down and get the confirm. Okay, cool. Robotics. 3 gates.
Timing too is really perfect. So he sees it as soon as it goes down, and he can react however he wants to do so. I don't know if he doesn't know about the 4th. Oh, the natural. I don't know why I said the 4th, but he doesn't know about the natural base, of course. And he's been mining here. Trying, of course, but I think that economically Kelazhur is pretty good. You know, he's at the 33 SCVs. He has the mules. He has the doubled army count compared to SWS.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the good scouting info, so he knows what tech path that SWS wants to go. And that most likely will be Colossus, unless we do see like Immortals and a bunch of Sentries go. But I mean, I don't know if we'll see that. So
right,
yeah,
that's very out of the norm.
So here goes the Robotics Bay, and what do you think of that, especially with Kelazhur seeing that so early? I know it's not like a surprise. I got Colossus, you lose, but like there's still a powerful unit, even if you know that they're coming.
Right.
But I mean, Kelazhur's response.
It's a powerful unit too, and we've seen SWS is really good about expanding too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just is like, all right, I'll make those couple early on, and then be very good about switching up my tech and keeping up with my economy and stuff like that for the next stage. Like, I mean, he's already getting. And this is a good timing for Kelazhur to be pushing too.
Yep, these units do have stim, combat shield on the Marines. No medevacs yet, but this is just to force out that photon overcharge if he can, and it will get forced out. Gonna get a few of these. Oh, good force fields, but the DPS is a little bit too much. Oh, and Kelazhur is going in. Nice force fields are gonna go down. There's only 3 stalkers and a sentry here. The time warp gets used, which means that there will be not a second overcharge, and he may just fall back here and do a second push.
Yeah, there's another small battalion moving across. The medevacs are about to pop out here, but that also means the Colossus is about to pop out for SWS, and you know that is the unit he needs to hold this off here.
Yes,
so
for sure.
Once he's got that with those gateway units, it'll be okay. You made a good point though. He does not have a photon overcharge available for the next push, but he's got a good observer spread. He's aware of what's on the map, and good scan comes out from Kelazhur. Does end up taking that out, and behind us, he's taking a third and just saying, I'm active on the map. You don't know what I'm doing right now. And now you have to be defensive and be worried.
Yep. And already the tech switch here from SWS is happening, going into those Templars. And the medevac count isn't there where you're going to see start to see some Viking production. So if the medevac production does halt and Vikings start going into production, I think the transition will be really nice if he's able to get those Templar out, because Storm is already on the way. It's just going to be how much this third of Kelazhur will come into effect. So if SWS does a nice timing attack with Storm and kills Kelazhur before that third is able to get established, then you know that could be problematic. But I feel like Kelazhur is not going to allow that to happen easily. Going to continue to try to use those medevacs to drop and continue to scout. He sees his Templar though, so that's important. Very important that they actually saw the units. So he's like, all right, already you have Templar? Still only 1 Colossus. You would expect there to be at least 2 or even 3 by now. So that hints him off that there will be no more Colossus production, but he's still making a few Vikings to at least deal with the one that's out.
Right, man. You cannot ignore that. And yep, good response here. And this is important too, is that dance that's going to start coming out between these two players here is, you know, the making sure you get those feedbacks, making sure you're getting those EMPs off, and Scan's going to come down, and he's trying to keep track of everything. And he knows that there are those forces. He knows that there is the potential to feedback the medevacs, and he's going to start dropping in here, draw the attention, and draw SWS out of position. We'll see how well he responds to it, and does reveal, I've got Storm already. I'm not that worried about you.
And another drop here in the natural, going to get a few of these probes, but he's actually going for the Nexus. That is in his eyes. A nice Storm, though, he's going to have to pick up. Not going to get the Nexus, though, but yeah, he did get a few probes there. One.
He did have a pretty good hot pickup, too, and save a full medevacs worth of units from the natural. So, you know, pretty solid, and it looks like 3 Zealot run-by is going to come out from SWS. He's heading in for that third base there, and it's, well, going to just stare at it.
Yep, it's like the... I don't even know. There they go. Gonna charge and just like stop Scooby-Doo style and just like... But yeah, here come the all these units already. Not too much damage was able to be done with the drop, but it did keep SWS on his toes. Testing his multitasking, seeing if he's able to deal with it, and SWS showing that he definitely can. Didn't have to burn in photon overcharge to deal with that drop, and yeah, now we're looking at Kelazhur, you know, on 3 bases. But yeah, SWS has just finished his as well. So,
but now I mean, the ghost count's been building up. 3 ghosts, 4 Viking. Like Kelazhur's getting that solid little army composition, but so is SWS. He's got 8 High Templar in this. He's only got 1 Colossus, starting to build the mortals into that army here, and both players are really going to start powering up, making sure their upgrades are solid and all this. And that's one thing that Kelazhur does have going right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the upgrades are gonna be kind of a factor here. Kelazhur is actually just now finishing his armory, so he actually hasn't gotten into even +1/+1.
+2. Wow.
No, he only has +1 attack. But here comes a really nice spread here from SWS. The Ghosts are gonna try to get some EMPs. They're gonna get a few. Still some storms though, but the charge lots have that +1 armor, and they are not gonna die too easily. Yeah, and here they go. That's not maybe enough bio to deal with it. I don't think that there's any more storms though.
No, I mean, there was a good EMP on some of those, but we saw that kind of flanking coming in from the natural, able to go in there. And Vikings on the hunt. They sniped that one Colossus very easily, and now they're just kind of checking things out. I'm like, all right, what else can I kill? Can I come in and do some Viking drop harass later on?
Yeah.
Maybe I could.
Hey, you know what? He probably could if he wanted to, but not going to risk it at the moment. He's still holding onto that army. Did he lose the Ghost? I think he did lose all of his Ghosts, which is kind of a shame. Because like the only thing that are here for SWS that do AoE are those Templar, and there's 10 of them. Then man, that's a lot of Templar here, and they're gonna continue to get that energy up. And with no Ghost here, that is not a scary bioforce for a Protoss player.
No, not at all. I mean, he's got Archons mixed in, Immortals, charge slots there, so this force is going to get cleaned up very easily. But this is just a small battalion that's basically saying, SWS, you cannot move across the map. I've got the watchtowers, I've got these guys here, I've got more army across my map, but there is a small Zealot Archon force over at that potential 4th base of Kelazhur, ready to kind of go to the 3rd base now. There's a bunker there. There's also a lot of the army supply, but,
here comes the storm drops. Ooh, gonna get EMP'd though. Really nice EMP there from Kelazhur.
At the same time, those Zealots are moving into the 3rd base, and this is what he wanted. Good storms blanketing that Bioforce, but a lot of Archons now getting produced here, but SWS is going to be in trouble. A lot of those forces getting cleaned up. At the same time, the Zealots are getting forced back here, and that main fighting force of SWS just got destroyed.
Yeah, it did, and this little run-by did a little bit of damage. It caught the attention of Kelazhur in order to get those nice storms, but it just wasn't enough because that EMP was so nice. It got both of those Templar that were there, and I swear we saw how good were those EMPs. Did I miss them? Because he had 10, and then all of a sudden he did like 2 storms and then morphed every single Templar into Archon. So
yeah,
he must have gotten
on point.
Reason to morph them into Archons in the middle of the battle if he had about potentially 15 or so storms.
Right. But I mean, as things are progressing though, SWS is going to be continuing to snowball with these upgrades. That's the one thing that he does have going for him. Even though he lost his army, it's very easy to remax it up, and he is going to be sitting here at +2 weapons very soon and +3 armor. So his units are going to have so much armor, they're going to die. It's going to take so many shots before they die there. But if the EMPs hit nicely, like we have seen Kelazhur do, it's going to be tough. So we're going to see. Still the medevac count is at a healthy 8 right now. He's got about 10 Vikings, and he's still going for these kind of Viking drop harass, come in here, be annoying, and kind of draw his opponent's attention elsewhere. I still would like to see Kelazhur go and search for the pylons and clean up the one. He knows there's one over in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, that keeps going to his base.
Yeah, he just hasn't gone over there and cleaned that up.
No, but with the Vikings being a little bit, dead supply, so the army supply is a little bit deceiving because of those Vikings.
2-3 High Templar, great snipes already coming out from Kelazhur, and wow, lag.
Yep. Oh, strikes again. Yeah. It definitely is. Yeah, it just randomly goes. So I would. Oh, he's feeling it all game too. Damn. Yeah, cool. We don't know.
And it does suck that this has to happen for the finals like this, especially in a matchup that you have to land your storms.
Oh yeah.
You have to land your EMPs. You have to land these feedbacks and stuff like that. And oh my gosh, yes, I just rewatched that fight, and he did get those blanket.
Oh man, so good, because that would have been an absolute slaughterhouse if those ghosts were not there. With the bioforce that was there before, definitely was not enough. So this is kind of cool. Is that personal cloaking? Okay, yeah, personal cloaking for the ghosts. are
Love
gonna
it.
go up. That's gonna allow those ghosts to get those EMPs even easier. And here comes a Doom drop. Viking harass at the third to draw the position.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes a Doom drop into the main for Kelazhur. Just going for it.
He's got to be careful, though. All of his forces clumped up like this. You know, he is doing a good job taking out pylons, unpowering a lot of gates, but that's the perfect spot to get stormed here, and he's got to be very careful about it. And there we just see the blankets get dropped down, and he will lift up.
Where's he gonna go?
Does juke out and gets that Ignite Afterburner going, but ran into a couple of those Archons, so took quite a bit of damage in the process, though. We did see another Warp In come over and harass that third base, and looks like Kelazhur finally going to be swinging over there to take that pylon out.
Yeah, there we go. See, we'll see it. He lost a lot of his Vikings. Nukes. Oh, yeah. +3 upgrades as well. And the Nuku. 5 ghosts being produced at a time. And they're going to have cloaking as well. So I think we are going to see some nukes. It's going to be a lot of a test of multitasking at this stage of the game. He holds the supply lead once more. Once again, he's held on to that worker lead as well as the army lead, and he's just keeping up on bases. He's just not stopping, man. Look, he's gonna go ahead and take the gold now, and SWS is just trying to make do with this army that he has. But Storm is a pretty good unit against Bio, so you're never safe, and it does come down to those EMPs, like we were saying.
And it's interesting to note too is we look at each other's map control here, like they're pretty much even in how much they can see. They've sort of kind of walled off the map, and you talked about this at the beginning, Tempo. It does end up being like split map versus split map very easily on this map, and you know that's a good indication of how well these players are on the map here, keeping control of things, keeping an eye on things. And another Zealot run by is going to sneak in there, deny that expansion from getting thrown down in the bottom right, but Zealot's going to be running all over the place. They're going to be able to get in here and see, oh, there is a gold base.
Hey, going to get that SCV.
Poor
SCV. May have to cancel this, actually. But here comes a nuke in the main. Interesting nuke there.
Oh,
gonna hit those pylons.
Secret drop.
Oh my god, the observer's going to come.
The observer, no!
It's going down. Oh, very close. But no cigar, no cigar. Almost, though. He would have got those 2 pylons, unpowered a lot of those. Buildings.
And now SWS has to be aware that that is a potential for another more to start dropping. We see another nuke getting produced. I wouldn't even mind seeing him get like 2 Ghost Academies and just do this.
Shooting EMPs like they're regular bullets, man. And he's just shooting them all, getting everything and cloaking out of the way. And here comes the army of Kelazhur. The Vikings are going to take away those Colossus. And here comes the Bioforce. +2/+1 attack with +3 about to finish against these +3/+2 units. The +2/+3, but the storms, the last storm, that's it, man. That's it. I feel like Kelazhur is going to continue to push forward. And what is SWS going to do? He's getting chased back, and he doesn't really have the bank that Kelazhur has. Kelazhur can continue to be completely maxed out for the rest of this game. A little bit of a rough position.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, basically saying locking down this area. You cannot come over here. I'm going to start poking my way forward here with my Bioforce. Get a scout off on what sort of army you've got.
Trying to bait that, he was trying to bait the...
He's getting the snipe.
Oh, he got it. He gets the snipe on that High Templar, and now SWS is in so much trouble.
Yep, no more nukes able to get dropped. But that main fighting force of SWS is getting crushed underneath Kelazhur's Bioforce. He's coming in, charging in, taking out that 4th base. Probe's going down. Nexus is going to go down, and SWS scrambling to get some forces. Kelazhur scans, sees the kind of forces he's going to be fighting. A lot of Archons going to get warped in at this point in time. A lot of Zealots here, but Kelazhur says, no problem. You know, I've got
even insult to injury, the Vikings are going to get that Colossus.
The Vikings are back.
Oh. Not looking good for SWS here. He's only up to these Zealots. Oh my god. I don't even think he's going to be able to with this Bioforce here. Zealots are pretty good against Bio, but yeah, it's a lot of Bio.
Come on, Peanut. Hey, cool to see the missiles like kind of frozen in air there for a second. It's frustrating.
Blizzard puts a lot of detail into their firing animations.
They do. They do a good job with that. Oh my gosh, longest warp in ever.
Yeah.
And it is painful.
Yep. I admit, man. Oh, it's a little tough.
The House of
Cat
Cats over here.
agrees. Agrees. I can't even watch this.
But we've got, kind of mass expands coming down from Kelazhur. Basically, he's like, you cannot do anything.
Nope.
I've got the army right now. I've got
Yep.
the bases. I've got the
No.
monies. What can
Yep.
you do?
Yeah, it is, and that's. I think he's gonna go in for the kill here. I mean, I think this is it here. As the rest of the bio comes up, more EMPs, and this is just not enough. All of the army is gonna go down here for SWS, and GG will be called. Kelazhur taking game number 1.
Good game, frustrating game, but still really cool to see. Like it's really, really tough when you have to fight those ghost EMP battles and there's just super lag going on.
Yeah.
But Tempo, what did you think of that match overall though?
That was good. It was actually like really it was interesting, right? Like with the whole sandwich and the stalkers getting into the natural in the beginning of the game, and SWS was a little bit behind as far as like economy goes. He didn't do enough with that little strike force in the beginning to justify delaying his nexus that much. But he held on for quite a bit, and it's just that Kelazhur is showing that even he didn't do too much damage. Like the drops didn't do too much damage, but they allowed him to expand. Like he got a base ahead every time. A base ahead, dropping. Yeah, you're not leaving. Don't push on me. Don't push. Don't push. Even with that really quick Templar switch, he was prepared for it. Scouting, making sure that he didn't get caught off guard. So really, really good played by both players. But I do think that Kelazhur was just on top of things there. Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it was a good match. Like it lasted like a good 30 minutes there, very back and forth, and could have very easily have gone either way with how it was going in the mid game. But Kelazhur just was playing very, very smart with it, and he got the micro that he needed with the EMPs. Like pretty much when he needed those, he got them, and it's tough.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see how things work out. It is gonna be a best of 5 for the finals, so there's still plenty of opportunity for SWS to turn it around.
I would say so,
Battle.net
yeah.
depending.
I know, it's really like it's tough.
It is, but we hope you guys have been enjoying the first Zowie gear NA Rumble here. It is the first one. It is going to be a monthly event that we do start having, maybe sooner than that, by twice a month or something. Who knows? But starting right now, it's going to be once a month. $100 on the line for the players here. Top 4 split. We've had some great players, some great matches all night long in the finals right now between SWS and Kelazhur here. Of course, this is set up and brought to you guys by Zowie Gear as well as Excello. Of course, the bracket and all that stuff done over on Excello. They do a great job as a tournament hoster there. And Zowie Gear, of course, has some great equipment for you guys. I know there's somebody in the chat talking about one of the mice that they've gotten recently. So great stuff indeed all around. And then, of course, big shout out to everybody that helping out with the event. Master Dull kind of doing the adminning stuff. Current TV doing the whole behind the scenes camera work and everything. And then Tempo, you helping out. Boisterous helping out earlier. Awesome, awesome stuff here for the first one.
Pretty sick, man. It's a shame that I wasn't able to catch too much of it, but I did get to catch it at the end, and then right before Boisterous had to run out. But it was a little tag team. We had planned it, because I did have to go to my sister's graduation, and thank you, like a big thank you to Boisterous for being able to step in, So I tried to rush home, exactly, rush home as fast as I could, and made it, and right in time. And it's pretty good to be able to be part of it as well. So,
indeed, and it looks like Habitation Station is the map for SWS. So, I'd love to see you lift off and go to the gold from Kelazhur.
I know, right? Especially when it's your opponent's map choice.
Yeah, do some trickeries here. But it does need to be noted though, like the guys from MicroGamerz, both Kelazhur and Snake Hips there have been doing very, very well for this event. And I was not as familiar with all the guys from MicroGamerz, and really impressed with how well they've done so far today.
Yeah.
So, good on for them.
Snake Hips does stream a bit. I don't know if Kelazhur does, but I've seen Snake Hips stream a bit too. But I think he was on like SCA too a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he streamed a bit too. So he's been around. He's been around doing his thing, but making a name for himself by, what was it, into the semis?
Yeah. Well, Snake Hips made it to
the quarters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lost to SWS, and SWS has kind of been on a tear ever since.
Yeah. SWS, please bat on that. All right, so Habitation Station will be the next map. Game number 2 between SWS and Kelazhur, a PVT series. It's going to be a best of 5. This is the finals of the Zowie Rumble NA. Well, Zowie NA Rumble. But yeah, it's going to be the first one that we've done, and this is the finals, the last series of the day at PVT. And yeah, SWS, can he tie up the series? He's down by 1 right now. His map pick is Habitation Station, showing that he didn't get completely obliterated. Like, it wasn't like a completely, like a complete stomp or anything. So I believe. I think we have a good series on our hands so far. That last game was a standard, as sort of a standard. The beginning was a little bit weird, but there was not real any gimmicks, like too many gimmicks in that game. So we'll see how it goes, especially on Habitation with that gold base, which can
no lifts off this time around though, but it is still a factor in the later stages of the game though. But before we get too sucked into talking about the map, why don't we introduce the players though? Temple, take it away with our first player, please.
All right, well, spawning in the top right corner of Habitation Station, he is down 1 game in his best of 5 series. Will he be able to tie it up? Representing Team DuSt, it is SWS.
And his opponent spawning over here in the northwest position, the only other spawn location here on Habitation Station. It is our blue Terran player, currently up 1-0 here in the finals. He is representing MicroGamerz. He is Kelazhur.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, looking at something a little bit different this game. He's going to be putting down that gas first. And this usually means that he's going to try to get a really quick factory. Debating, play styles always differ, but I've seen many different styles in TVP where you can utilize that gas first. Whether it be Widow Mine drops, or whether it would even be like a lot of Hellions. Right. Where quick medevac, you do like a little drop in the main, force all of the units to the natural, and then run in with a bunch of Hellions.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of trickery you can do on this map.
Yep. But we'll
preference. A lot of times players have their own preferences in how they play. The builds that they have the most success with, the most experience with, that's what they tend to go for in situations like this. But we see already scouts coming out from the players, getting the confirmation on what's going on. SWS just wanted to make sure you didn't float to the gold or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So, but just like you were saying, Tempo, factories.
Yeah, so that is going to be it. So this is the game that we see that Kelazhur goes for that kind of 1 base play, and we'll see how SWS does. He didn't actually scout with the drone. Oh, he did. Oh, with the drone, with the probe, and he sees the gas timing. Notices the gas is already done before that barracks is done, so he can kind of assume that could be a possibility, and we'll see exactly how he does deal with it. Sometimes you will see a quicker robo in order to deal with it, because that is usually the best way to deal with Widow Mines. But even if he were to go like Stargate, he could get an Oracle out, harass with it, and use it to use that. I always forget Revelation. I'm gonna say, but it could be Envision. Is it Revelation?
Revelation is the detection. Envision
is the spotting one.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm now see now you're making me question myself.
I don't. Yeah, man. It's one of them, man. We have a 1 out of 2 chance. It's okay.
Right.
But widow mines are going to be made here, and a starport as well. Still going to be 1 gas, and SWS is still in the dark about that. He does know the possibility, and I think he has this kind of game sense in order to notice that it is a threat. So he does go for that quick robo before his Nexus. So that's a very important move there from him. Getting out a bunch of stalkers because there will not be that many defenses here for Kelazhur if he's going for this Widowmine style. So if he shuts down that drop, he will be able to counterattack with a very strong push. So we'll see how he does it, how he will react. I believe that his Observer should be out before the Widowmines are able to burrow. And even if the Widowmines are able to burrow, he can move away, and he should be perfectly fine if he doesn't get like unlucky, because sometimes that Widowmine just says, no, you know what, I don't care about range. Sometimes I'm just gonna actually lock on before you get away and then kill like 6 workers. But you know, I think he's definitely well aware.
Cool. Hellion actually gets caught by the 2 stalkers there. So, you know, this Hellion for Kelazhur just poking up, checking to see, okay, how's your natural looking? Do you have anything as your natural? What's going on with that? And interesting enough is there are no Widowmines with this. With the initial push, there's just Marines in the medevacs right now.
Oh wow, very interesting then. And he's gonna go ahead and drop it in that. There's nothing there. Yep, there he goes. Expecting already a photon overcharge. That may be just a reaction like, all right, I think he scouted me early, so I've already went gas first. Might as well go ahead and defend with the Widowmine, and then I don't know if it's gonna be enough though. It's only 1 Widowmine.
Yeah, I mean he got 1 stalker, but that's it. And now the remaining stalkers that are here, he's gonna be knocking on the door, taking out SCV after SCV, and the medevac's gonna try to get back home, but the bunker's denied. The supply depots are going to get killed off here. Could supply cap Kelazhur, and he's scrambling to get more Marines out. He's getting caught where his 2 additional barracks are getting thrown up, but in the meantime, he's in a lot of trouble. There goes that bunker, or I mean, supply depot. So he gets supply cap. The medevac is here dropping Marines, but this is very tough. And does he get this? Oh, he gets the Observer, but even so, that's a lot of stalkers that he can't deal with.
Yeah, he actually can't deal with this. He's pulling workers now, and he's losing everything. SWS identifying this and then going ahead and just pushing with brute force because he knows that the production of Kelazhur will not be enough. But there's only 3 stalkers that do remain here. But how many workers have been killed is a question. 15, 16, more stalkers getting warped in. The bunker, though, is going to finish. And that may stop the aggression, but the advantage is definitely in our DuSt.sWs player. And,
I mean, that Widowmine placement of Kelazhur and just kind of identifying, all right, if I can snipe that Observer here, I can be able to lock things down, and I believe I can hold. And that decision making there really paid off. The command center is going to be finishing up, and even though he is behind, he is not down and out. It is going to be, you know, allowing him to power up here, but it's not like SWS had an expansion behind this. He did not. He just threw it down. So he's going to be poking up with his Observer again, denying the supply depot, ends up sniping that off. Kelazhur, not supply cap though, but just something he has to be aware of. And we do see Widow. Oh
my god, if there's not any SCVs to repair this bunker, that could be in a lot of trouble too. But it is okay. Yeah, the Marines are going to drop back down. Should be enough firepower. But SWS trying to see if he can catch an angle here, you know, pick at something without taking damage. But he's going to go in realizing I'm going to lose 1 stalker, but he should be all right taking that base. But I mean, yeah, like you're saying, Kelazhur's not out of this. Getting that 2nd command center up means that he's going to have 2nd mules. But having these stalkers here means that he's able to contain a bit. I'd love to see him make a few more units, get that sentry over there so that those units can't just walk down. Would have to use the medevac in order to do so.
And still poking up with the medevac, making sure those stalkers are still there. You know, being active with his units, making sure that, okay, have you left? Can I move down the ramp yet? No? Okay, well, fine. Then I'll stay here for the time being. But, you know, he has not been able to get over there and check to see, does his opponent have a natural or not? And, you know, SWS does. He's getting Immortals behind this here. You know, he's kind of in a very solid position. He's got the Observers in a good spot and actually does get the confirmation that Observer gets into position right as that medevac moves across.
Yeah, and he has 3 stalkers there already. So if Kelazhur is not careful, he may lose that medevac before it even drops those Marines. A 4th? Nope, just the Immortal. I was going to say if it was a 4th stalker, maybe. Here comes the medevac, though, and SWS gonna go for it, but a little bit of a quick move there from Kelazhur. Not gonna lose that, so very nice from him. And So what do we got here in Inman? What do we have right now? This is a little interesting to me. Kelazhur going for that tech lab on that starport instead of the okay. Never mind.
Yeah, a little bit of interesting play. I mean, but then's like, no, I really need to get a more medevacs up here. I really need to start getting the Vikings up here. You know, he's got Stim on the way, but Kelazhur is in an awkward spot where he can now start moving down the ramp, but he has to be worried that there's that sentry there. I don't think he's noticed that there's a sentry. I don't think he's been able to scout that yet. So when that Bioforce starts to move and half of it gets down, he could force field it off. And, oh, nope, he just keeps pretty much all of it up in the ramp and says, nope, go away. You cannot move down the ramp. This is now my base. Stay over there.
The longer that goes on, of course, the longer that SWS is mining from his natural. He's fully saturated at his nat, going for the robotics bay, going to be able to get those Colossus out, already dropping that Twilight console too. So, I mean, it doesn't even matter what he does right now. He doesn't need to contain anymore. He's just ahead economically. He has 45 workers to the 25 of his Terran opponent. And getting those Colossus out is just, it's going to shut down this push right here. I mean, there's one Viking there. 3 medevacs, which is nice, full energy. And so that's one thing that he has going for him. But when this one Colossus does come down, I think that he's going to be in a very nice position, even with 1 sentry for force field.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Kelazhur plays it out. Whoa, Viking! Whoa!
Viking
sacrifices himself for free. Scan goes down, and now he's kind of looking at that army, and you know that's not something you want to push up the ramp with. There's Immortal, there's Colossus, there's Sentry energy there that can easily force field off. We see the Stalkers kind of in that prime intercept positions inside of the main base here, and Kelazhur now just kind of has to be like, well, what can I do in this position to deal with what you've done to me? You've put me in a very awkward position where I'm still behind economically. I've had to delay my natural until about 14 minutes into this thing. This is never a position you want to be as a Terran player. But Tempo, what would you like to see Kelazhur do from this point on?
I mean, I feel like he needs to utilize drops, but the thing is, SWS is so ready for it. You know, he's really far behind in that sense. Upgrades even too now with 1-1 coming here for SWS. The good part, though, is that he's kept up with his medevac production, so he can actually start making Vikings, which is very important to be able to add those without sacrificing the healing power of the medevac. But, I mean, SWS is just... He's so safe that it's like it's so scary. Like, what can you do as a Terran player right now? That drops usually how you do it. So he needs to really test the attention of SWS. But SWS has shown that he's not just one track mind where, you know, oh, I guess there is 4 Marines at my third. I better move my whole army over there. Like he doesn't do that. And he has observers all over the map, so he can see when the drops are coming. So he just knows about the potential threats before they actually happen. I think this is
such a smart way to play as a Protoss player. Is, you know, make sure you've got additional observers just for keeping an eye on those paths. Make sure you've got those zealots on the high ground to keep an eye on things. And Stalkers, basically, they've gotten to the best position they can to intercept, and they will ignite the afterburners and try to get in there, but immediately goes for the aggressive blink. Will start to target down.
Oh, the units went down though.
1 and 2. Oh, that is a lot. Units got out.
That's huge. With 3 medevac full of units, even though 2 medevacs do go down, this drop is very, very devastating. Gonna go ahead and target that Nexus right now. SWS needs to do something, and this is exactly, what Kelazhur needed to do. But with 1 Colossus coming down, he's gonna be able to clean that up.
And the problem, that was actually with all of that, he lost the rest of his forces pushing into the 3rd.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, so that's actually not good. That's not good. He can't afford to trade inefficiently, and he can't lose those medevacs. If he were to lose those medevacs like he did in the main, he needed to do ridiculous damage, you know, sniping critical tech, killing a ton of probes. Because when you're in this position right now, when you're behind, you're just trying to trade efficiently, you know, get in, get out, hit squads, go in. But SWS was ready at the 3rd, and I'm sure that he had a plan in order to do that. But SWS just was ready, and it was a little bit scary when he did lose those Stalkers, right? Like, I was like, oh god, he might just lose his whole main here if he doesn't react correctly. But, you know, SWS keeping his cool, and he's up 1-1 upgrades right now. And guess what the upgrades of Kelazhur are? They're actually at 0-0, and he's only getting +1, not even +1 armor. So, I mean, when you're in this position, I mean, what can you do? Do you just pull the SCVs and just say, you know, whatever, next game and try it? I don't know. I'm not trying to say,
Well,
hey,
no,
Kelazhur, you should do this, but it's a really difficult position to be in.
it is a really, really tough position. And we've seen that Kelazhur does excel in the later stages, but there's a point where you're sitting here and you're like, well, there's no way that I can get to the later stages at this point because your army is so much stronger than mine. You could easily just turn and go across the map and kill me at this point in time. So like he has to just delay and delay and delay. I wouldn't even mind seeing him try to have taken the gold base instead of that
Yeah, there
third
you go.
base.
Yeah,
Like
I think that actually
something.
would have. Yeah, playing the map, right? He picked the map too, I believe. No. SWS didn't pick the map, but like, I would say that too. Yeah, that's a great idea. Especially because SWS has been playing this defensive style. He actually hasn't been harassing at all. He's just been defending. So taking that third, well, as I speak, there
Right
go three
now,
zealots.
Zealots finally start harassing. The
I
harassment
definitely
kicks
agree.
off.
Definitely agree. Taking the gold, trying to get that little boost, dropping down a ton of racks, and then just pumping out units to catch up. And that's the boost that you would need, especially because SWS wasn't taking the gold either. So, yeah, I think that really would have been its best shot. As he was doing that harassment, take the gold and utilize that. There's been no vision, except I guess there is that zealot at the watchtower, but there really hasn't been any aggression from SWS aside from that little zealot run by.
Yeah, but it's been much more defend. He's basically like, I did the early splink or the early stalker push, and now I'm just gonna keep getting more and more ahead, keep getting my bases, make sure you can't do anything and try to catch back up and just get further ahead with his upgrades here. Like +3 weapons is on the way right now. He's taking a third or fourth base. He's continuing to add just gateways on. Like he's just saying, yeah, okay, I'm ready now. Like I'm almost maxed out. I've got a super strong army that you can't deal with. I mean, how many Colossus? He's up to 6 Colossus right now.
Oh my god. But there are 12 Vikings, which is not too bad, with 5 medevacs as well. It's just that ground army is not that scary. He needs to... it's really tough. Those Colossus are going to do so much damage. They're going to be at almost 3-3 if he decides to wait. He has a sick upgrade advantage already. And I don't know if he realizes how much of a upgrade advantage he has, but... yeah, he's playing incredibly passive. And that may be, that may be what Kelazhur needs to come back into the game, but SWS is just defending so well. Oh,
yeah.
What do you do?
A small push came over to that fourth base, but didn't really make much happen. And we do see a small battalion goes up, retakes the watchtower. But again, like with the observers and stuff, there's also pylons on the map here, the zealots on the map. Like SWS is still kind of, he knows what's going on. He's going over,
his vision
retake
is
the
actually
watchtower.
really nice. His vision. So, well, I think this may be the push coming soon. +3 is already about to be done on the attack. Not the armor quite yet, but he doesn't have that many zealots either. So there's really the attack that he's gonna focus on anyway. So yeah, he's actually poised to go, poised to get up here. Don't go onto this ramp. The Vikings are in position a bit. Gonna shoot that observer out, but hallucinating some Colossus too. There is a missile turret there, so that may be the key missile turret. This missile turret. But here it goes. That looks really scary from but just 1 second in that missile turret shows that they are hallucinated. That's a lot of Vikings. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was up to, he still has 19 Vikings left, and that's huge here. He melts all the Colossus. The Blinkstalkers blink to the side, but, that's still...
Really, that ground army is useless, and now the Vikings are in the air, but there's nothing to shoot. They're going to come down and start shooting, and they are going in, but they are actually going to get taken out relatively quickly, as they don't have any upgrades either. And here comes the army of SWS, and this is the only mining base. Well, the only... I was gonna say, I think the main is mined out. The natural is still mining, but yeah, this is gonna probably be the end here, as the upgrades have now finished. 3-3, almost, just about.
So
To the 2-0.
Get laid down here to help push these forces back, but like, SWS is just able to warp in a lot of forces. He's still getting Colossus. He's going to just make a huge wave of Archons with this too. And even though Kelazhur is doing his best and trying real hard with this, sitting at only +2 and you're facing down a 3-3 Protoss here, on 4 bases and you can barely hold your third base is a very difficult position. But this is kind of Kelazhur saying, I'm not going to give up without a fight. If it's going to go to a 5-game series, let's have them be long games. Let's try to wear you out, drain you out kind of thing. And he's going to go micro the best he can with this, but this is kind of his last-ditch fighting force to stay alive in this position. But the Archons, Zealots moving their way forward, Stalkers in the back helping out as well, and Kelazhur is hanging on by a thread right now.
He really is. He's really doing a decent job here. DuSt.sWs did target down the Vikings with the Stalkers, which he probably didn't need to do, but since he's setting up to get more Colossus, I guess that is not a bad idea. But I mean, the fact that he wasn't able to kill Kelazhur was a little bit interesting. You know, he's just like getting the actual army. This is like, okay, making it seem like it's a little bit closer than it is. And then all of a sudden 4 Colossus and then 3 Storms, well, 3 Stormers, as you have the High Templar, do come into the battle. And yeah, I think this is going to be, I don't know, man. I might have to shield my eyes because there's just going to be so many Protoss units that have so much AoE able to be done. And this is the only force of Kelazhur here. He does have a lot of money, but he's really low on the gas. And
yeah, and you really don't want to be making like a whole bunch of Marines versus a Colossus Sonic Storm army here. And
not at all.
It's going to be tough with. I mean, he's got +3 weapons finally on the way, but again, it's like 3 bases to 5 bases. It's like the perfect Protoss army at this point in time. Like he's got Storm in here, he's got Archons, he's got charge lots, he's got a lot of Colossus again, and he's going to swing his way in.
And this is it. Here he comes. Yeah. The army of SWS is going to power on through. A decent spread from Kelazhur, but there's just not enough units. Storm on the north side, Archons on the left, and Marauders are just fighting for their lives, getting as many of those concussive shells out as they can, and GG will be called. SWS tying up the series 1-1.
Very solid.
Crazy TVP. Yeah.
Yeah, very solid from both the players there. I mean, that showed you kind of what happens if you can get those advantages in the early game. SWS able to kind of knock down the door with the Stalkers. He was prepared against the drop that Kelazhur tried to go for and just supply capped him, killed off a lot of forces, killed off a lot of SCVs, like kept him inside of the main base, like yeah, just stayed ahead and just continued to just play the most solid game after that. You know, he did not take any too much damage from drops. He just continued to get his upgrades, kept taking expansions, and then was like, all right, and I'm going to attack you. And, you know, if we trade off, that's fine because I'll just remax it and you can't. And that's, you know, it's sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's games like that. But you have to commend Kelazhur for sticking it out and staying to the bitter end there. I mean, that's pretty much 2 games that lasted about 30 minutes each. So it shows that Kelazhur does like those longer games. And, you know,
what it's also shown is that the player that does the kind of funky, you know, aggressive opener just kind of falls behind. You know, I feel like both, like the first time it was SWS delaying his natural, going into like this kind of 3 gateway aggression play, and it didn't work out for him in the game 1. And then we saw the last game, Kelazhur goes for this like Widowmine drop that gets scouted so early, but he does it anyway. And it was kind of weird because like he was trying to like, I don't know how to explain, but like he was like trying to fake out the drop because he didn't bring the Widowmine because he was like, well, I'm sure that he's prepared for it, but it kind of cost him in the end because there was a bunch of Stalkers right there. So yeah, it was just kind of weird as far as like early aggressive builds just not working out for either player so far in the series.
So Way Station is going to be the next map.
Okay.
Which I think is going to be a good one. It was Kelazhur's map pick, which again, it could be a very long map or it could be a much shorter map. So
okay.
We'll see how things work out between these 2 players on it. It's really going to come down to where they spawn and how they're going to play things out. But you made a very good point, Tempo, about that early game and how important it is in this particular matchup between these 2 guys here.
It's all about that execution too, you know, like just in both scenarios it didn't really pay off. So not saying that never go early game aggression in PvT, it's just you know, just kind of, I guess, adjust, you know, and be like, all right, don't overcommit or know what damage you can get done. And I feel like in the first game for SWS, he kept warping in stalkers, which are expensive, delaying his any tech that he wanted to do, and he didn't really get out with them either. So I would have loved, even with that early push, if he had warped in some zealots in order to tank while the stalkers sniped the SCV trying to build a bunker. And zealots is, they're annoying to deal with as Terran in early games. So that's the main thing about them. So anyways, though, this is going to be game number 3. Nan, man, you want to take it away with the first intro?
Yes, we've got spawning down here in the southwest position. It is going to be our pink Protoss player tying things up 1-1 here in the finals. It is DuSt Gaming's SWS.
And his opponent, representing M, it is the blue Terran player, Kelazhur. I can't remember what the M stood for. It was
MicroGamerz.
I was like mayhem, no, massive, no.
Mirror. That was our joke earlier.
Really?
It was about a different team.
Yeah.
Another M. That was there, but no. Anyway,
no.
But so the players know where they're spawning. They know it is going to be with Way Station. You always know you cross spawn from your opponents. They know it's a little bit of the shorter sided on things. It's not going to be that super long side of things, but that is something they have to keep in mind. And this probe coming out, I seem to see a lot
double gas.
Yeah, like these sort of proxy style of plays all the time on Way Station from a Protoss player. They love to proxy against Terrans. And we're gonna have to see. Kelazhur should be kind of aware of this sort of phenomenon, but he's actually just queued up that barracks right over to his opponent's side of the base. He's got the double barracks, double Reaper production again, and gonna try to just kind of mess with his opponent enough, deal enough damage to really throw him off his game here. But
and he'll be able to scout a bit. But the problem, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's what I was gonna say. There is gonna be an issue with this, and there's gonna be that proxy.
Yeah, I feel like when you do this double Reaper style, you commit so much of your gas in your barrack production that you don't have enough Marines to deal with an Oracle. So we'll see if it is going to be a Stargate. Double gas has gone down for SWS, and that second pylon is already on the map. So that's going to be able to be made immediately. And then he may even be able to drop another pylon here in his base to make it not seem too obvious. But we'll see. Here comes the Reaper, and he's going to be able to scout. Mothership Core's not out. There's nothing here that can deal with this Reaper yet, so he may lose a probe or two, but it's not the end of the world if you do, but you don't want to lose too many, that's for sure.
Right, and, he's Mothership Core just now popped out, but still, that's kind of the only defense, and the Reaper count's going to get higher and higher, but he has to be careful. Like, if he was paying attention to that pylon count, he should know that there is a proxy somewhere on the map, or he should be looking around on the map and, getting a command center behind all this. Yeah.
Yep, it doesn't seem like he knows. He saw the Chrono boost on the warp gate. Now he's doing the scouting, and he says, "Why do you have 2 gases? And what are you doing here, buddy?" And it seems like 3 Reapers are going to be able to do a little bit of damage, picking off a few probes every once in a while. But 2 Reapers being produced at a time still. I don't know, man. I don't know, man, because I'm a little bit scared. The engineering bay is going down, but the turret is not going to be in time. The first Oracle is already about to be done.
No, I mean, he's basically committing to these Reapers. He's basically saying, you know what? I have to try to do so much damage with these Reapers that it's going to be as cost efficient with your Oracle. Like, I'm going to try to... Yeah, it's basically I have to try to lock things down. We're both going to be fighting for that.
The Oracle is here, killing the SCVs that are building it, and if they stay here, they're just going to die. Whoa, my... Oh, ow. I just can't even look anymore. 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14. Guys, we are learning how to count. We were doing Reading Rainbow earlier. Now we're like Count Chocula, baby. Here we go. But yeah, that's 15 kills on an Oracle. And those are SCV kills, not even Marines or anything like that. That is devastating. 8 SCVs remain, and that's all you need. You don't even need to go in again.
No. And, behind this, the Reapers that Kelazhur had were able to kill 5 probes. They almost killed the Stalker, but Photon Overcharge was able to get thrown down. The Mothership Core is still here to harass it, and that was not the sort of trade-off that Kelazhur was looking for here. And there's a second Oracle now. They're basically gonna pop out and say, okay, you're gonna make Marines, so I'll just kill them.
Yeah, and he's gonna try to maybe able to pick off one, but double command center does mean that you know, double SCV production, so he'll be able to catch up. But by the time that he does catch up, maybe a little bit scary because double gateway follow up. Wow, though these Reapers are doing work. Hey, another stalker gonna go down, and now Reapers are going ham, getting a lot of these probe kills right now, and the Oracle is gonna be able to clean up these Reapers. But hey, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
No, yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, Kelazhur really making good use out of those units that he still had on his opponent's side of the map. And, you know, building a lot of bunkers up right now, building a lot of Marines, and basically saying, okay, I cannot get out of my base. It would be suicide to do that at this point in time. So I'm just going to hunker down, rebuild, re-catch up with my supply, and see what I can do in the kind of later stages right now. But, oh, Oracles. Got to be careful. That's a lot of Marines out there.
Yeah, they are. And they are going... Oh my god!
What?
Whoa, SWS! He's still standing there. He's gonna lose 2 Oracles for no reason. I don't know why he decided to stop there, though. That was a weird spot. Right in front of the barracks.
Right? It's like, hey, you know what? Look at these 3 Oracles that will start killing you. You better be prepared. Oh, you are prepared. Well, crap.
Yep. Well, in that case, well, 22 probes to 21 SCVs. And that's double mule, too. So, I think that we're kind of equalized here. So, only thing that SWS does have going here, as far as advantage goes, would be that little mini contain. There's no starport yet, not even a factory, so there is no way he can get down. Oh, unless he forgets the force field.
Yikes!
Not a really good force field.
No.
Gonna take out those sentries, so there's not gonna be any more contain. But stalkers are pretty good against Marines.
Yeah, good control still coming out from SWS. Cleans up the remaining Marines down there. And now it's like, oh, I guess I got to go back in the bunkers because I cannot move down my ramp anymore. And that Oracle's still trying to find an angle, will deny the factory. So another good delay coming out from SWS. His natural is getting finished up here, and you know both players have been like just poking and prodding at each other with these little harassments since the start of the game. But SWS still kind of playing very similar to game number 2 with I'll go for something aggressive early on and just deny you from being able to take an expansion, and it's working really well.
Yeah. We just hallucinated. I'm the real sentry here, and as soon as the medevac does come out, you can boost down. But damn, he's actually gearing up. He's making a lot of units here, and I wonder if yeah, there's really nothing Kelazhur can do. Like he can't boost with the drop yet because, of course, that starport is only just now about to finish. And yeah, man. Oh, Oracle getting a bit of some kills again. Getting a little bit of value.
Yeah,
definitely.
Twilight Council is going to be the tech of choice from SWS. I mean, I like it. He's already invested a lot in stalkers here. Why not continue up with that sort of style? He's got some zealots over there with the sentry, so I like the Twilight mix up this time around instead of going for the robotics. And you know, Blink is getting started up here, and it looks like another good force build, going to trap a lot of those Marines on the high ground. But he's got to be careful. Get another solid force field, can trap and siphon off those units, but nope, doesn't get it before the sentry dies. So
yeah, he keeps getting that sentry. But we're looking at a Blink follow up here, and you know what? Yeah, I haven't seen too much Blink on this map yet. I haven't seen too much PVT on this map. I'll let you know. So, oh, that Oracle just exploded into a firework of green glow stick.
Green glow stick, I like it, but looks like with the medevacs, Kelazhur feels comfortable enough to start pushing down the ramp and establish his natural finally a little bit quicker than game number 2 there. Makes it to the 13-minute by the time he takes it, not the 14-minute. So still very, very tough as a Terran player to be like, well, I wanted that much, much quicker than this, but guess now I got to settle for what I've gotten. With a Blink defensive style like this, it's going to make it really tough for SWS to make something happen. So we're going to have to see how well SWS defends. We saw he does a really good job with it, and he still has pylons scattered across the map. He still has that probe out on the map that we could see more weapons come from in the future here.
Yeah. So, well, it's going to be this force going across the map. Blink will be finished by the time it does get here. And if there are enough stalkers that are able to deal with this force, he's going to be able to chase down those medevacs as they're trying to get away. So we'll see if there are enough. Stim is done, is it? Yep, I believe it is.
Oh my gosh. He's
Whoa!
coming in
Good
from both
blink.
sides. Time warp's
Yep.
coming all over the place, and he's going to start dealing a lot of damage to these forces here. The medevac's over top doing what they can to heal, but there's the
Oh.
aggressive blink.
Dude,
Does he get it?
medevac may go down. Damn, yo. It's pretty great.
Nice
Didn't lose too
save
many
there.
medevacs there, though.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah.
oh, but he might lose this one here with the blink. SWS sees it.
Yep. Nice
And
pick
now
off there.
the counterattack bunkers are going to be going down, but I think it's too late. Man, I don't know, man. I don't think that Kelazhur is going to be able to hold this here. Bunkers are going to get just targeted down. Immediately destroyed, not even canceled. SCV's getting pulled. Blink Micro coming out of SCV, SWS against these SCVs and Marines. One Stalker does go down, though, but yeah, I don't think Stim is going to be enough here. Here comes the boom. And yeah, I think SWS is going to do quite some critical damage here. The bunker finishes, though.
Wow, I was shocked that was able to finish, but still, sniping the medevac there, very important here. And the next wave of Stalkers going to get over here with the Mothership Core, and he can start blinking up into the main base here, start denying that barracks, and it's going to make it really tough. There's no defenses in the main base against the blink, and now Kelazhur has to scramble. He does have a Widow Mine now, but that's at the natural. There's the big blink up, takes out a barracks, takes out that tech lab there, and what can Kelazhur do here? He stims, charges way forward, takes out a Stalker, but he can just blink out of here.
Yeah, watch out for that Mothership Core. Don't lose it. You don't want to lose that again. So, no, the bunker, though, is a little bit vulnerable. There is nothing inside of it, but the SCVs are going to go back to the mineral line. And oh my god, this is pretty intense, as Zealous will be able to soak up more. +1 is right about to finish, but there is just not enough bio to actually utilize it. 2 Marauders, the actual strong units, are going to be going into the bunker, and the Marines, the vulnerable units, are going to get taken out. Good blink micro from SWS, and I think this may be the end. Mules getting dropped just as a desperation, as GG's, and SWS goes ahead in the series 2-1. Against his Terran opponent.
Very, very nice play. I mean, for whatever reason, that's just kind of how Protoss players play on Waystation. And I don't know, I was kind of shocked that Kelazhur did not scout around with one of his Reapers to check for those proxies. Yeah. Like he was, you know,
the turret was like a little bit too late, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was tough. But I don't know, Temple, what did you think of the Oracle opening and how the rest of the game went there with SWS versus Kelazhur?
15 kills, man. That's all. Enough said, right? I think that I don't know, like you were saying, I felt like the Reapers, if you're gonna make that many Reapers, not only are you doing damage, but you're scouting, right? And you have to kind of think as well, like why do you have 2 gas? You don't have an expansion. And there's no tech in here, and you know, maybe the Chrono Boost on the Warp Gate threw him off too, because when he first scouted, he saw Chrono Boost on the Warp Gate, and that may have been SWS's plan to like kind of trick him. Yeah. But I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird where there's no tech and it's 2 gas, and there's no units. So you know, the engineering, but he realized it though. You have to keep that in mind too. He realized it. It's just a little bit too late.
Just slightly too late in the process there, and you know, now it's putting SWS currently up 2-1, and it's match point now. SWS needs to win 1 more, but it falls on Kelazhur to pick the next map. Yeah. So we will see what is going to be the map. Kelazhur's been putting up a good fight. Like he's taking a game off of SWS, and it's not like he's just getting stomped. It's just he's having a really hard time dealing with early aggression and not being able to expand. Yep. Like the last 2 games that he's lost,
comfortably, he's been contained. Like it's happened in the past 2 games, and it didn't happen in the first game because it just was a weird opener. Well, not a weird opener, but it's just the way that it happened for SWS on Overgrowth. But it was like, you know, the Stalkers are like, all right, I'm in here now, but I don't have any SCVs to shoot at, so I'm going to just sit here and shoot at the command center as you get a bunch of Marines to deal. So, you know, it's kind of, it's a little bit wonky opening from the first game. And I think SWS is just thinking right now, like, you know what, if I just play my own game, just scout early and check in, you know, just kind of not do to overextend with my early push, I'm in a good spot. So we'll see exactly how SWS does. But Kelazhur, he needs to win this game, man. He needs to win this game. And if he doesn't win this game, he is going to lose the finals of the Zowie NA Rumble. And he's shown that he can win. He's shown that he can
Yes.
actually do it. He just needs to bring it to the table now. It is on the line, man. The map is going to be King Sejong Station, a ladder edition, but this is not the ladder. This is a tournament.
There is some money on the line. It is
there's money on the line, not just ladder. There's no ladder points, man. There's
bragging rights, though. There are
bragging rights for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is it, man. So this potentially could be the game match point of the tournament. And the good thing is that it seems like the lag has settled as well. So
Yes.
really nice, of course,
Knock
for
on the
a thank you. You know what? I'll do it too. But I really thought like someone knocked on my door, but like okay. But anyways.
Throwing for loot.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So SWS, yeah, he's got to get warmed up. But let's get those intros started. We see spawning up here in the northwest position. It is going to be our pink Protoss player, currently up 2-0 here. Game point. It is going to be SWS.
Yeah. And his opponent spawning on the opposite side of the map, the bottom right corner, the blue Terran. It is Kelazhur, representing Micro Gaming.
Yeah, Micro.
Well, we're looking at a little bit of a different opener from Kelazhur this time. Maybe not. Okay, I thought he was going like gasless or something, but
it's like
we'll
madness.
See.
He's not making Reapers. Oh wait, there's the gas. Never mind.
But it is pretty standard, of course. It just depends how many Reapers you make, because the more Reapers you make, it's just delays your tech, and you really need to do the damage with it, and it's tough sometimes. I like this map though a little bit for Reapers because of that little step-in stool.
Yeah.
On the other side, I forget where it is on his side. Top right.
For on SWS, it's on the left side.
Okay. Yeah.
It's that little ice ledge there, and yeah, Kelazhur is on the right.
No double racks again though, and that's an aggressive position. So we may see exactly the same kind of play, and SWS may scout it. Ooh. Probably not though. I wouldn't. No. That's not really what I would expect.
No. So, but I mean, if he had been paying attention, you know, he could be out and be like, all right, this is the way you've played before, so I have to keep in mind of your heavy Reaper styles of play. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And the only reason why that actually wasn't as effective, well, why it didn't equalize was because of the Oracle.
Yep.
So if SWS goes for a different style, and it doesn't seem like he is going for that same style, because he is going to be going for one gas. So he's probably going to gear up for a one gate expand. And yeah, this may be a little bit more effective.
Oh, and I love this too. This is kind of the streamlined Protoss one gate expand, where you start making that zealot and you're like, all right, if you have not blocked my expansion, there's no eBay block, there's no crazy things happening at my natural, then I cancel it and just throw down my Nexus and just go right into the mothership core from it.
Yep.
And now that, you know, does give the chance for the Reaper to get in here and do some damage.
Ooh, gets a probe.
Yeah, he's gonna get up already. Yeah, able to be annoying here. Does get the confirmation that natural's gone down, and so now it's, you know, falls on Kelazhur. Okay, he's got 2 more Reapers behind this. When does he stop? When does he stop making and just get to save up for that expansion? And it looks like he says, all right, right now, boom, expansion's going down here. He's going to continuing up with the Reapers, and he's been pretty good with his micro. That I don't mind that he's continuing up for a little bit longer with those.
He's alerted SWS that he is on the way again. Shows 3 Reapers. He's like, uh-oh, not this again. And as long as he doesn't lose his Reapers, and he's able to evacuate if he needs to. Oh, it needs to be really good with this micro, though. Every probe does count.
Thanks. Don't jump back up.
Hey, right?
But Stalkers have started to pop out. First one's here. The second one's going to come out. And at this point in time, you know, once you've got those 5 Reapers, you can take out a Stalker with those, no problem. But as the Stalker count gets higher, the mothership core is going to have energy for photon overcharge the next time they come in. So it is going to be a little bit tougher to deal with.
Yeah. So we'll see how he does it. He's still continuing to produce them. 2 more racks are on the way off of this expansion. So yeah, what will he? What is his game plan? Because remember, he does have 2 already. It's not like he had his 1. He's adding it for his 3 barracks. He's going up to 4. He's doing a lot of work on
Wow.
this Nexus.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, that's got a lot of shield damage taken, but he's like, all right, I'm gonna push you back at least with my mothership core, and he still does have that enough for an overcharge, but he does not want to waste it right now. Well,
No.
you do not want to use that energy up at this point
Oh
in time.
wow, he
but-
doesn't care about the mothership core. Gonna lose one of the Reapers. So he says, okay, maybe my time is done, but
Yeah, he just has to be careful. They could, sneak in a little bit later on, and looks like
he's getting a little bit
tries to
too,
commit,
yep.
but yeah, not gonna happen. Oh, the Reaper tried to sneak in the
Mid-air.
main base, not gonna happen. And this
Damn.
is what's tough. All that commitment. He did a little bit of decent harassment in the early stages, killed off, like 5 probes here and there, and did a good amount of damage scouting around, and after that, now he's kind of stuck. And Reaper will get in right as the Stalker gets over there, so he will get in and get the confirmation of what's going on in the main base. And it's basically the same stuff that we've been seeing. Additional gates. Robotics tech is hidden away at the natural, which Reapers have not been able to spot as of yet.
Ooh, if he clicked it, he would
Oh,
be able to.
yeah.
We'll see. We don't know, but we'll see his reaction. To be honest, I don't even know. When you see a robo, you don't even know. I mean, as a robo going down for a Protoss player, it could just mean to go ahead and get that observer to scout to see what the Terran's doing. Sometimes you do see like those crazy immortal gateway pushes, but not too often. I think it's very uncommon. But SWS does love his Colossi, so
He does indeed. But with how things are gearing up from Kelazhur, it's looking very, very normal for the bio style that he started out playing. It delayed his tech so he could get up and get the stim up first, get the +1 weapons before he started to get that starport going, which I like this style of play when how aggressive he was at the start. It's going to continue up so he can start to be aggressive very soon and hit some really good timings here.
Yep.
How well is he going to scout though? Like, he's got the Reapers basically out as watchtower. Their whole job now, they are watchtowers.
yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what they're gonna
sit
do,
here.
Mm-hmm. It just happens. All of our past and lives, don't end up to be too glorious, but we do need those watchtowers. But I really do like the upgrade style. I know Innovation does it quite a bit too, where he gets the really early upgrades and then goes into his medevacs and whatnot. But he just builds up this huge army that has +1 and then a few medevacs. So he can drop if he wants to, and then he can also do a big push. I know that Puck, when he played Innovation in the NDG Invitational, he was like, I'm just not used to this style, to really upgrade. But to be honest, this isn't the early upgrade style because he opened up with the Reapers, so it's a bit delayed than what it usually would be. But we're looking at 40 army supply to 25. And that's just the photon overcharge that can deal with it. So we'll see if the photon overcharge will be enough. Stim is already done. And those 2 medevacs, is that the first 2 that are making right now? Or were there 2 that just made?
Two
right.
just popped out.
So those can actually boost over to meet with the army. Observer knows that this is coming.
Yeah, and now,
there's a Colossus too.
There is a Colossus, and it's going to come down to that photon overcharge. It's going to come down to those force fields here, and it scans and confirms. Now he's like, all right, where's my medevacs? They got to get over here quick. And force field got forced down already, and that's pretty nice already. And scans, takes out the observer, and he's feeling pretty good. He doesn't know that third base is there though, so if he can get confirmation about that, that would be a huge victory to go and try to force a cancel on that. But Stalkers.
Yeah, SW's getting a bit bold, actually, I would say, yeah. 2 Colossus, though, is pretty good. They don't have the extended thermal lance yet, but they're about to finish it, and, yeah, he does need to be careful. Sometimes you get a little bit too bold, and then all of a sudden, it's like, Marauders just peg your Colossi, and it's just like, well, yeah, gateway units against this +1 force is not the best position I want to be in. But here comes the gateway units, well, not gateway units, but the Bioforce going over to that Nexus, and he sees that it's there, and he's like, damn.
Gonna drop at the natural here, taking out probes. Photon overcharge immediately goes down, but damage has already started to take place.
Yep. Not gonna get too much, but he's gonna go ahead and boost out. And this is like the worst thing you can see as a Terran player, that your Protoss opponent is mining from his third at the same time as you. You usually want to be ahead, but still, he's even, and he's ahead in supply right now as far as army goes. But he's gonna want to definitely do a bit of damage and stay on his upgrades. We've been seeing him not really keep up with the upgrades.
Slacking on, right? Exactly, and like he's just now adding his armory on here. while we see SWS is 2-2, about halfway done. He's getting Blink, and
Yep.
his army is just looking scarier and scarier. Like the Blink is going to be very important for helping to keep his Colossus alive. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future he just transitions out of Colossus altogether. Wow, huge wave of Marines
That was
sliced in half.
Oh, but another drop inside of the natural here, but there are some stalkers here, but stalkers are not good against Stim Bio. Photon Overcharge is going to go down, but Zealots are going to come in. And yeah, I don't think any probes more are going to go down with that Photon Overcharge unless he does manual target. But like he is going to start doing it. He is. Look at how many probes are going down. He's killing so many probes.
Great way to do things here. I mean, he knows his opponent has gotten that third before him. Might as well try to go for this drops. And, this is kind of showing that SWS could not be at two places at once. Yes, he did have the Photon Overcharge. Yes, he had some Zealots and Stalkers, but that didn't last forever. And, he took a lot of damage in the process. And we see that army getting scarier and scarier. SWS has to keep in mind upgrades. I am ahead in upgrades. I can hit some good timings before your upgrades can, before you can even catch up in upgrades, before your ghosts get up, and all these important things before the Colossus start losing their value, because you're going to keep getting a lot more Vikings. So we're going to have to see. I mean, there's advantages he's going to do. He's going to take advantage of his Warp Prism he's got swinging up from the north here. It's got 4 Zealots loaded in, and we'll be able to start doing some harassment, even taking out like the Ghost Academy, some of the tech labs and reactors here. So we'll see how well it works.
There's really no defense here. No. And yeah, I've been worrying about that. He's been staying on one engineering bay for too long, I believe. I'm not like a Terran expert or anything, but I feel like, in the mid game, you drop that second one and start equalizing your upgrades. But this has been like this pretty much the whole time. But a big drop, the Zealot work. Warp Prism gonna try to warp in, but yeah, those Vikings are not gonna let that happen. But the Zealots are gonna get a few kills, not too many. And here we go. Kelazhur deciding if he wants to go up on that top side to do some damage. Scanning. Always scanning, actually. He always tries to get that position. He knows that if he sees any opening, he'll take it, but hasn't been able to get that key Terran, position in the concave, catching Colossus out of position yet.
Not yet,
so,
no. But...
Not yet, but if it happens, he could do it. There are no Vikings out with this army, but they are at home. And I think we're going to start to see that push heading out. His army supply is pretty scary, I would say.
Especially with a 4th base getting established now from Kelazhur, and SWS still struggling around the 3 base. Like, he's adding on additional gateways here. I like, again, he's smart about his upgrades. 3 through is going to be finishing up soon. He's getting Archons mixed in, but he's not started Storm. I mean, that's one important thing that he's missing with his next stage of tech. And again, like you were talking about, Tempo, the scans constantly going down, and he does have Ghosts mixed in, so he could see some EMPs, but 3 drops going to go right for that natural.
Yeah, and will he be able to do any damage here? This could be a gift, a donation, if he isn't careful, but the Vikings are going to go able to kill those Colossus. Not going to lose a Viking there, so very nice pick off there from a Terran player. And 3 Colossus do remain, but this gives time for 2-2 to finish, and that's a little bit scary because it is only, I believe, 2-1, so it's not too bad. But 3-3 is going to be on the way very shortly, most likely, from SWS.
No, just finished. This is it. This is the timing.
Oh, that was 3-3. I thought that was 2-2.
Yeah, he's been powering through those upgrades.
Oh, wow. Well, that's actually very scary. Oh, wow. I thought that was 2-2. Oh, wow. In that case, this is actually really scary then for Kelazhur. He's only on 2-1 right now, and his Vikings don't even have +1, so they are going to be able to kill the Colossus only because they're only 2. But we're looking at this really high Viking count again. Oh, but this blink position, why did SWS, he blink down? Gonna lose a lot of his stalkers, but he has that sheer army value with the upgrades. And here come the, oh yeah, the Archons are in the back too. Oh god. What? That pylon finishing right there, gonna be able to warp in even faster, even closer. And the army value of Kelazhur is looking pretty weak once more. But if this army of SWS is able to gather itself and come together, it will be able to take out this army of Kelazhur. And will SWS be the winner of the Zowie NA Rumble? Will this be the final push of this final best-of-5 series? The SCVs are getting pulled. Marauders are scrambling back, trying to get a good position on the high ground. Archons are kind of derping around, doing what they can, but the Stalkers do blink up. Ghost gonna use their last final AMPs. GG. Well played. SWS showing that he is the victor, showing his dominance in both the PvT and the PvZ matchup.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe he's ready to fight QXC in the MMOG tomorrow.
I mean, after seeing that, I would not be surprised if he's able to beat QXC. I mean, that was a great showing there. I mean, that game in particular, though, like the upgrades, his army composition that he had was scary enough that he was able to just kind of be like, all right, you know what? I just hit 3-3. You've always been neglecting your upgrades. I've, again, done a pretty good job of not taking too much damage with the drops. He lost more in this game than he had in, I think, any other game for the drops. But it also goes to the way the map works. Like, that's just kind of... It's very easy to be able to go in and drop at that natural there. But the army composition is so good. He had so many charge slots, and you know, it worked out very well for SWS to kind of plow his way through. And it just showed, like, yes, Kelazhur able to take a game off of SWS, but overall, with many different styles, SWS was able to get those advantages and be able to stay further and further ahead of his opponent. And, you know, some games were closer than others, but when it comes down to you guys are maxed out versus maxed out, it not only matters about army positioning, army composition, but upgrades as well. Something that SWS it always had.
Every time. Yeah. So,
yeah. But Tempo, what'd you think? What'd you think of the series? Yeah,
it was good. I was definitely, you know, it was like with that first game, I feel like SWS is showing that if he, well, then again, I guess that's not true. Like what I said when I said if SWS just chills back and does his game, then he wins. But the second game, or the third game rather, we saw him use the Oracle, the proxy Oracle.
Yeah, mixing it up.
Yeah, but he plays a really solid ZVT, I would say. It's PVT, where like he does something in the beginning, you know, like whether it be defend against the push or some like proxy Oracle, but he plays super defensive. He's like the definition of when ahead, get more ahead, chrono boosting upgrades, taking the third when the Terran can't punish it, and then defending. Like he's so good at defending the drops. That's really important. So big props to him for being able to do that, and you know, eventually he just gets ahead economically and upgrades, man.
It's so important for all you players out there thinking like, what can I do to help me get better? Well, make sure you're doing all the important stuff of upgrades. Make sure you make probes, make workers, harass, do all these things. So it definitely a great showing from all the players here for the Zowie Gear NA Rumble #1. Big congratulations, of course, to SWS. Tempo, who are our sponsors to help make this event happen?
Well, we got Zowie, of course, who does make some great PC peripherals, as well as Excello, who I believe they run the bracket, everything.
Yep,
do they?
They've got their tournament hosting site.
Hosting site, and yeah, I was looking at that bracket. I'm like, damn, it's clean as hell. So definitely need. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to throw any other ones under the bus, but there are some other tournament hosting sites that kind of are, you know. So definitely really cool seeing it, updating in real time, and big old thank you for them to allow us to at least represent them as well as stream to their channel. So really cool, Excello. Mucho amor. I don't know if you speak Spanish, but I took 2 years of Spanish and it means much love. So you don't even have to Google that one.
See, learning stuff from Tempo. It's a good Friday.
We learned reading. We learned a little bit of math. We learned a little. I don't even. What else did we? We learned a lot of things today, man.
Yeah, all the good stuff. So make sure you guys tune in. Every month we're going to be having more of these Zowie NA Rumbles here. Of course, it's monthly right now. You know, big shout out to all of you guys that stuck with us throughout the evening to watch such great games. There will be, of course, VODs and all that good stuff for you guys to enjoy. If you missed some of the games, go back and check them out. You know, of course, Boisterous SC2 was helping us cast earlier today. You guys can hit him up on Twitter and tell him all this horrible stuff about him and stuff like that. But of course, big shout out to Master Dog, the admin, doing all the hard work, making sure players are in their games, doing what they're supposed to. Current TV, Best Observer NA, and then of course myself at The Real Nan Man and Team Tempo. But before we duck out for the evening, Tempo, you want to give some shout outs and stuff like that?
Yeah, gotta give a big old shout out to the Boom, man.
The boom.
Not just kidding. The Boom is like our EU clan, our EU troll clan. But definitely gotta give a big old shout out to my team IVD. Supporting me, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm waiting for MLG as well. Gonna be there. I don't know if y'all are gonna be there as well. Are
Sadly
y'all going
not.
to? Oh no.
I know. I'm actually going to be like AFK on vacation and stuff like that at the same time.
Yeah.
Family
Well, if,
vacation with my chickadees family.
well, if SWS is able to, beast it through, I'll be seeing him at MLG. So
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to that. Of course, I got to give a shout out to Mama Tempo, because without Mama Tempo, there would be no Tempo. And yeah, thank you all for putting on this tournament. Excello, Zowie Gear. Shout out to Karen and you as well, Nan Man, and of course the Boisterous, who was, he was just waiting. It was like the triple threat tag team, and he tagged me in, and I was ready to come in. So I was really glad that he was able to do that, because I was like, oh my god, I have to go to my sister's graduation, like. But yeah, it all turned out okay. So much love
Good.
to all the viewers out there that tuned in, regardless. The people that also participated in the tournament,
Yes.
making the actual tournament what it was. So and shout out to SWS for winning it all, and showing that not just a PVZ beast, also a PVT. So
Mhm.
much love, and I wish you the best of luck tomorrow as well. So yeah, I think that's the end of my shout outs, man.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So one more time, guys, make sure you hit that follow button here, twitch.tv/Excello. This is where the Zowie NA events are going to be taking place and streamed up in the future. We hope you guys have been enjoying. Of course, hit all the Twitters up as you guys would expect, at Zowie Gear, at Team Tempo, at The Real Nan Man, at Current TV, at Master Dog, and at Boisterous SC2 here. All the guys helping out, making something amazing happen in the NA scene. But we'll check you guys out at least next month. We don't have a confirmation on the date as of yet, but keep an eye out on the Twitterverse, on TL, and you'll know as soon as we know. But that'll do it for us tonight, guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.